Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is Anthony's Exchange, where we talk about absolutely everything. And today I have a special guest with me. I have Brandon LaCroix with me today. How are you doing today, Brandon?
I'm alright. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. And in today's topic, we're going to be talking about a very broad topic, but today's is about stress and how you react to stress and what you can do to prevent that stress and how to cope with it. So Brandon's going to answer a few questions for everyone here. So my first question to you, Brandon, is what is one thing that makes you stressed?
Thank you, Anthony, for asking that. A lot of stuff about school gets me stressed all the time, like having to turn in assignments and presentations. That's the worst for me, like having to go up in front of a crowd and talk to a bunch of people. That gets me stressed even weeks in advance, months in advance even.
So yeah, I find presentations very stressful too, especially ones in front of a huge auditorium when over 50 kids are just staring at you. You know, it makes you think, and it goes in your head that, geez, like it's going to make me even more stressed that I got to talk in front of a huge crowd of people when it's something that's not even a big deal as that.
Yeah, I agree. Another thing that makes me stressed is work. I work at TJ Maxx, so I'm dealing with customers a lot, and they're not always the kindest to you, so it kind of like aggravates and you have to deal with that. That's very stressful.
It kind of gets under your skin a little?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. So I too work at TJ Maxx, and I can also relate to how customers can be very stressful, depending on their attitude or how they're feeling today can really change you emotionally. Mm-hmm. And just basic customer service can make you very stressful too, because you don't know what problems that you're going to come across. But another stressful event I recognized is family. Family can be very stressful. Mm-hmm. How they react to you, how they talk back to you can, really show the emotions and can change your emotions on how they are acting too. So let me ask you another question, Brandon. What's a coping skill that you would prefer to use when you are stressed?
One coping skill that I've used since middle school is running. It started off competitive for me when I was in high school. I competed on the varsity team for 4 years, and it was stressful on me, but looking back on it and now running every day by myself, it takes the stress off. It makes me feel like I can't think of anything in the world like at the time when I'm running. Like all the bad stuff is blocked out, and I just feel amazing. And another coping skill I use is watching basketball. I'm watching it almost every night of the week. Preferably for me, I watch the Denver Nuggets. I've been a fan since I was a freshman in high school, and for me, they're just very exciting to watch, and offensively, like a great team, and something about them, always watching them, my mind's never on anything else, so it's hard to be stressed when I'm always just thinking of that game and like hoping that they can get the win somehow.
And I agree, Brandon. Watching basketball is a great coping strategy. It helps me. Any sports I watch actually helps with my stress. Get your mind off everything. Gets you only focused on that game you're watching, and just feels like everything's going well, especially when you want the team to win. So I noticed that you brought up running as a great coping skill. Do you prefer to run outside or on a treadmill? What gets your mind off of it better?
I definitely prefer running outside. There's something about it, like the scenery is always different. It's not repetitive. It takes my mind off everything so much better than a treadmill, because that's a completely different thing to me. That's more of a getting in shape kind of thing, and I use running as a stress reliever, so running outside definitely works better for me.
And I agree, Brandon. Running outside really does take the edge off, and that scenery really helps with, getting your mind off of something that's, stressing you out and really takes away that emotion. So, Brandon, I want to bring another question to your attention. Is stress good or bad, or both? Like, why? Which one do you think is right?
I think stress can be both good and bad. In the good meaning, it helps me get my stuff done, make sure every assignment is turned in. I always check, double check, triple check everything to make sure I put in on time, and just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And presentations, it helps me prepare more because I want to do the best I can and not look foolish up there. And I think it can be bad too sometimes because you tend to overthink, and too much stress is definitely not good for you, and you want to be able to cope with it and get past it and get through it.
And I agree, Brandon. Stress can be both good and bad. And like you said, it helps you get your work done. You know that you got to get stuff done. Even though it's making you stressed, it's going to end up, getting that stuff done that you need to get done. So the full definition of stress is really a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances.
Yeah, that makes sense from my standpoint because school, I think, is a very demanding circumstance because if you don't pass, and you get through, what are you going to do after you get out? You have to, get through college, get good grades, if that's the path you're looking for, because you want to be successful. And if you don't have another route to go, then you really need that degree. So everything about college is stressful and very hard on your mind.
And at the age we're at, it is a very stressful period in our time because we're starting to build a career and look for jobs, and all that is going to be very stressful.
Now let me ask you a question, Anthony. How does your body react to stressful experiences, and is it reacting the same way every single time?
So Brandon, when I'm really stressed, my body just seems to kind of shut down. It just doesn't, react the same as it usually does during the day. It just kind of seems like I don't want to do anything. I just want to lay there and just stay in one spot and not move. I feel my muscles weaken when I'm very stressed and have a stressful experience on my mind. My body experiences excessive sweating when I'm in a very stressful experience or thinking about something very stressful that's on my mind. But just like you, I have coping skills, such as running and lifting and, sports, stuff like that. That's what helps with the body fatigue and how my body is reacting and what I have to do to get stronger from this stressful experience. So one last question for you, Brandon. Do you experience trouble sleeping when you're stressed, or there's a stressful event in your mind, or anything along those lines?
Yeah, sometimes I do think stress interferes with my sleeping. I find myself tossing and turning all night when I have something on my mind or I'm anxious or whatever reason when I'm stressed, and always checking my phone for the time to see if it's later in the night, if how much longer I have to go until I can go to bed.
So clock watchers, when they sleep, usually tend to have sleeping problems and can't really sleep because they're too busy looking at the time and wondering how much more time it is till they have to get up.
Yeah, I agree, Anthony. I think clock watching is one of my worst habits that really affects me getting a good night's sleep all the time. And if anything, it really just increases my stress more. Another thing that tends to keep me up at night is I always have sodas all the time, before I go to bed, not right before, but in the night. And the caffeine, I don't think really helps with maintaining my stress levels and really affects me getting the proper sleep I need.
And yeah, Brandon, the caffeine is definitely a huge factor in your sleeping habits and how that stress is going to go through your head. It's just, it's going to keep you up more, so that stress is going to be in your head more, which means you're going to think about it, and then it's just going to get worse from there. So stopping those caffeinated drinks at night could probably help with your sleeping schedule and how you sleep better in the night. So another helpful tip for this is to maybe just get on a sleep schedule, wake up at the same time every day for a week or so and just see how you feel, if that stress level is going to, grow or, shorten. We'll see,
Yeah, being on a schedule would definitely help me getting the right amount of sleep and relieving my stress each night. But as a college student that has, I have 2 8 a.m.s each week, and the rest of the week I got 2 classes on Monday and Wednesday that aren't until 1:30 in the afternoon, and I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all off, so I don't have to wake up at any particular time on those days, so it's very up and down. I'm not doing the same thing every single night.
Yeah, and I also agree, Brandon. I have a very similar schedule, and it is hard to get onto a good sleep schedule so you go to bed at a certain time every night. And it's even harder when you have a lot of homework that night that's going to keep you up, till 1 or 2 in the morning when you want to go to bed at, let's say 9 or 10.
All right, Anthony, one more question from me. What would you say to a college student that's listening in, or any college student like ourselves, on how they can properly deal and cope with the stress that they have in the very different kind of world that they're in the college lifestyle.
So being any college student, you're going to come along stressful events and you're going to have to get around them. But you got to tackle those obstacles the right way, meaning to prevent that stress. And a great way to prevent that stress is to get all your work done in an efficient amount of time and to just do it. Don't put it off, don't stall, get it done. That will make you less stressful. It'll make you feel better that you've gotten that work done. And I would also like to say exercising. Whether it be walking, running, lifting, playing basketball, any sort of physical activity can really help lower your stress levels and can really help you as a college student want to, do your work quicker, do it better, just all in general make you a better student. Well, thank you, Brandon, for being on the show today.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you for having me, Anthony. It's been a very eye-opening experience for me. I didn't think there were this many ways I could cope and deal with the stress I've been experiencing, definitely these last 2 years of college. Being on the show today really opened my eyes and helped me realize what I can do and what I've been doing wrong to eliminate the stress in my life, or at least the stress that I can get out without
Well, thank you, Brandon, once again for having you on the show. It was a real honor, and your feedback is greatly appreciated to everyone listening in around the world and in other colleges. So there you have it, folks. That's a wrap on today's show. Tune in next week, and we'll be talking about food in America and the Denver Nuggets playoff chances as the NBA season comes to an end. I will be discussing if they can hold on to the 8th seed in the Western Conference. And thank you once again for tuning in, and hope to see you again next week on Anthony's Exchange every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.